I think just the idea of pride in itself is very powerful because I think a lot of queer people have just experienced so much shame growing up that the opposite of shame is pride. So
Hello and welcome to Up Again, the show about overcoming life's challenges on and off the ice. It's Pride Month, and in celebration of this, we have a very exciting lineup for this edition of the show. We're celebrating the LGBTQ plus community in skating, and we are joined by American speed skater, four-time world single distance champion, and 1,000-meter world record holder, Brittany Bowe, and four-time world ice dance champ and Olympic silver medalist, representing France, Guillaume Cizeron. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, Brittany, you've just returned from competing in a bubble. The season has been different to how it usually runs. What was that like?
The bubble was awesome. Super grateful that we even got to have a competitive season, and hats off to everybody that made that a successful 4 weeks in the Netherlands. I know so many athletes didn't get to compete, so it was a really positive experience. Obviously, also winning almost everything I competed in aided to that great experience. So just really grateful that we were able to compete, and it was a successful time.
And Guillaume, you haven't actually been able to compete. Your season's been so different because it seems like you guys have just taken this opportunity to really drill down and figure out what you are doing next.
Yeah, exactly. We had a few competitions that were canceled in the beginning of the season. And then, we decided that it would be better for us to just, start fresh and start creating for the Olympic season, which, we never really had a lot of time to create those programs. We're always in a rush and we get it done within a few weeks, and having several months to, do research, work with choreographers here in Montreal, and do all of that, wonderful creative work, and taking the time to enjoy it has been really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's Pride Month, which is why we've got both of you on the show. You have such beautiful and unique and different stories. You both are a beacon of hope and of inspiration to so many fans out there. Let's talk about Pride Month and what pride means to you. Let's start with you, Brittany.
Pride can mean so many things. But Pride Month specifically, I think it's just a time to celebrate and promote the equality of LGBTQ plus people. It's a time to reflect on movements, and it's also a time for us to share our stories and experiences that can make a difference for others. As you said, normally there would be parades and celebrations. Well, we're kind of in the era of the social media boom, so it's great to have platforms like this to, share our stories and encourage and, continue to reach people in a way that we hadn't been able to in the past.
Why is it so important, Guillaume?
I think just the idea of pride in itself is very powerful because I think a lot of queer people have just experienced so much shame growing up that the opposite of shame is pride. So I think just having that strong balance, kind of reinforcing the idea that it is something to be proud of, is very important. I think I mean, personally, it took me a long time to really embrace it. But yeah, definitely getting rid of that shame around the world, fighting it by just celebrating, I think is just very powerful.
It's interesting that you say that it's important to celebrate, because you did make waves a bit when you came out, and I mean, you came out in the public, everyone you know, and in your personal circle, no one was surprised. But you did put a post out on social media on the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, and it made a bit of a splash. Did you plan on doing that long in advance, or was it an impulsive thing?
No, it was pretty much an impulsive thing. You know, I just thought, why not? I had never shared really anything so private about my life on social media. I always, you know, I usually keep things pretty private. And on that day, I just thought, you know, why not? Why not? You know, I'm happy with my partner, and I just, you know, want to encourage people to feel free to share whatever they want to share, especially if it's love or happiness. So it just happened naturally, and I'm you know, I don't consider it coming out. I just consider it as, you know, talking about my private life and just that aspect of it, and that's it.
So what was the response like? You know, I think a lot of the time when you're a public figure, what you do causes ripples for your loved ones and, you know, your family members, and it bounces kind of back to everybody.
Hmm. Honestly, the response was mostly positive, or at least I just chose to look at the positive responses. And I think, you know, it just led to so many things. I got to, you know, a lot of people just got interested in what I had to say, which I was truly lucky to, you know, have that opportunity and that platform to speak and share my thoughts and my story, and that led me to write a book about that aspect of my childhood and young adulthood. And that's just a great opportunity to have that, you know, wide platform um, to share my story with people who might be able to relate. And, you know, if I can help one, or even if I can, even if it had helped just one person, it would still be worth it. So
Yeah. And your book, the excerpts of it is so beautiful. It's such a powerful thing to do, to document that journey, particularly considering how painful it clearly was. So is it important to make that public announcement, Brittany? What's your experience been like? And is it different when you're a woman?
I do think that it could be very different between a woman and a man coming out. Why? I'm not quite sure. Public stigma, your classic gender roles that a man and a woman need to play. But you know, I don't have a specific or particular coming out moment. It was, you know, pretty organic over a period of time as I matured, developed, and found my stride and found my comfort just with myself. I grew up in a small town in Florida, very conservative place. Went to private Catholic school, kindergarten through 12th grade. Being gay was definitely not a normal thing, and it was definitely not something that was talked about. I was a successful student, athlete, loving life, choosing to love who I wanted to love, be with who I wanted to be, but also just didn't talk about it. I've always thought of myself as being comfortable with who I am. I'm like my authentic self. But looking back, throughout my high school years, was I afraid of being, you know, judged or treated poorly? Yeah, absolutely. I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared of that. You know, but fast forwarding, graduating high school, I went to college. I accepted a scholarship to play college basketball at Florida Atlantic University. And my college was about 4 hours south. So we're in South Florida now. And the second I stepped on campus was really the first time that I saw what diversity and acceptance looked like. it wasn't long into my freshman year where I knew I could comfortably be, who I wanted to be, and kind of stepped into my authentic self, and lost this fear of being, judged or concerned with what people may think or say. And as I evolved into who I am today, I can honestly say I cannot think of one instance where I was met with anything other than love and acceptance, from my teammates, friends, family, fans. So I'm very grateful for that.
And yet you could quietly have gone about your business and not been this leading figure in your sport. So clearly kind of changing what youngsters who are coming through now see as being the norm is important to you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say that I want to be in the sporting field. Like I want to be remembered for being, the best athlete. But with that, I also want to be remembered as a great person who brings a lot of, positive things to the table. And my sexual orientation is part of my life, and I am attracted to females. I am with females, and that's part of me. So although I don't discuss it a ton, I think it is important to, share my story and experience. And thankfully, I do have one of the happy stories. So for those that may be struggling with coming out with the fear of rejection or hate, I'm here to tell you that there is, there's a positive end to that story. There's a very high chance for love and acceptance. So I do wish that for others.
Guillaume, what would your advice be to a fan or an athlete who is contemplating, as you say, doing the unnecessary, not necessarily because they have to, but because they feel like they want to announce that, this is who they are?
I don't know. I find Brittany's his story and point of view really inspiring, because that's how it should be, and it is such a great example to. It feels so good to hear somebody talking about their lives and saying, I've discovered my sexuality in a safe, sane environment, and I felt I was surrounded by love. It gives a lot of hope to hear that. And because I feel like a lot of people have told me, yeah, but look at you, it's made you stronger. Sure, but it's not necessary to go through all that struggle, because I could have used that energy and time to do so many other things. So, I can't really make sense of the suffering. It wasn't necessary, and I'm part of the people who didn't suffer that much either. Like so many people have so many way more horrible stories than mine. I'm part of the lucky ones. But I think I would say to those people that they don't really have to come out. Like they can just be whoever they want, and they can talk about it with whoever they want, and they don't have to feel obligated to talk about it if they don't want to. I think it has to come from within. Like if you feel comfortable talking about sexuality with your friends, your parents, with strangers, then that's your choice, and it shouldn't be a pressure, and it should also not be a fear. I think that's the most important thing. Like being afraid of telling somebody who you like, of talking about yourself. It's devastating for your soul. Like it's just it's not right.
Yeah, Brittany, you do a lot of public speaking and kind of motivational stuff, and you're a mentor, and it's not just LGBTQ stuff, it's inclusion and empathy and health and wellness, and you're a yoga coach now, yoga instructor qualified. you really seem to want to share, both your passion for the experiences that you've learned in your sport, but also just holistic wellness and happiness.
Absolutely. I have learned over the years that the happier I am off of the ice and in my everyday happenings, the better I have performed on the ice, the more I have enjoyed what I'm doing in the arena. And just to understand and embrace the mental aspect of things, and really going back to recovering from my concussion opened my eyes to the importance of mental health, mental well-being, and just happiness. So I really, I really do try to share these things that I have done that have made me a better person, and in turn, also a better athlete.
Yeah, that's so powerful that it's made you a better athlete. It's not the yoga, it's the effect of having other passions outside of the sport, pursuing those, and kind of finding a sense of fulfillment and identity outside of the, off the ice as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just, there's so much more to life than just skating. There's so much more to life than what happens in the rink or arena. And when I'm at training, it's work. I'm working hard. But then when I have some downtime, I do like to enjoy myself. I like to get outside. I like to travel. I like to spend time with loved ones. And having that balance, I think, is very important to a successful and like the longevity of a career.
So Guillaume, how do you get away from it all? Where do you find your balance and your fulfillment? I have seen that your hobbies are fashion and food. Great hobbies, those. What do you like to cook? Tell me about your,
Yeah.
Do you design your own costumes? How much fashion are we talking?
Yeah. Simba decided to join. He wants to say hi.
Ah, hi. What's your dog's name again? It's a hard one.
Simba.
Simba?
Simba, like in the
the-
Lion King.
Like the lion. Oh, I saw something else. It looked very French. That is the cutest doggy. That's
Yeah,
balance right there.
I do not cook. I enjoy eating.
Oh.
I enjoy eating other people's meals. I enjoy people cooking for me.
So you make great reservations.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's been pathetic during, COVID, because I don't cook and restaurants are not open. So in a lot of Uber Eats, like a lot of people. Anyways, but yeah, I love fashion. I do design my own costumes. Yeah, it's just, and one of my passion. I just have a passion for art and creating in general. And I find that when you learn to do that with figure skating, for example, then you kind of know how to apply it to other mediums, because it's always the same kind of thought process where creating is creating. So I also just like collaborating and picking other people's brains, and I really enjoy that. In terms of hobbies, I mean, I don't know if I have like very specific hobbies. I like to draw. I like I do like to. I think balance is really important. Like Brittany said, like I think so many people are like so like focused, but in a very close-minded way, that they don't see the bigger picture, and they kind of. I mean, from what it looks like, it looks like some people sometimes just lose the fun, lose sight of how fun it should be to skate or perform, or go to the rink every day. But if there's one thing that I've learned, is that it's never one or the other. You can literally have it all. Like, you can be this and you can be that. You don't have to choose. And I think that's what like our sexuality has taught us, in a way, I think, is that we don't have to choose. It's a false idea that it cannot be both. I think that's helped me a lot in my sport and in my everyday life. That I've been torn so many times between this and that. Can I be gay and an athlete? Can I be happy and out? Can I be this or that? And we can literally do it all. And knowing that we're evolving as well, it's not because you decide, it's not because you're like this right now that you can be something completely different in 2 weeks. I think it's just very liberating for me, at least.
How are you feeling about Beijing now? It's drawing closer.
I am very excited about Beijing, hopeful that it will happen, because as we have very clearly stated, the world is out of our control at this point. But just, staying fluid, staying liquid, moving with, what is brought to the table, and just being ready to perform when we're called on. Excited and hopeful for the best.
But you're going for your third one now.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've seen the change between, two games between 2014 and 2018. Are you doing anything differently this time? Have you learned something that you kind of now know how to prepare, how to go into it a little better? The experience standing you in good stead?
Yes and no. I mean, the Olympics is like no other animal. I can sit here and say, oh, it's just another race. It's just another competition. But we all know it's not just another competition. It is like the biggest stage, and it is our moment to shine. We get one chance every 4 years to, make our mark on history. But as I enter, hopefully, what will be my third games, just having 8 more years of maturity, experience, and not changing much, because I think we as athletes run into problems and challenges when we try to do too much, change too much, trying the next best thing. But if we just continue to, chug along and check off the boxes that we know that work, that's usually the recipe for success.
And you, Guillaume, you guys have a silver medal. You go into this Olympic Games kind of knowing that, at least, there's one in the bag. But I'm sure you're going for gold, right?
I mean, yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, we had a pretty traumatic experience the first time. It was very stressful to go in our first Olympics and trying to get gold. Like, we were going for gold and we had never been. So, and as you probably know, we had a costume dysfunction where my partner lost her top, and we were still able to, finish the program, and then we won the free dance and ended up second after, so it was a ride. Like we were, it was hard. So I think going back with that experience, and we've changed, like in 4 years, you mature so much. Like it feels like it was yesterday, but also like so many things, like we're not the same people anymore, and we already have the experience. And I think the first time around, I was kind of like she said, I was kind of trying to make it not a big deal. I was like, well, that's just kind of like worlds, it's just the same. So I think by denying that it was bigger than that, I kind of missed the point. And it's just, I wasn't aligned with what it actually was. So now I think just embracing, it is so stressful to, you have one shot, and then if you don't make it, you have to wait another 4 years, and you might not make it for another, in 4 years. So it is such a stressful moment. And I think for the first time around, I was more afraid of losing than I was excited to win. And I think this time it's a little bit different, where I'm just like, you know what, if it's meant to be, it's gonna happen, and I'm ready to embrace it. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm kind of like less, I don't know, it's a different mindset, which I think hopefully will work better.
Well, one person who did skate competitively and then decided, there's a great big world of possibility out there, and I'm going to grab it for all it's worth, went on to become a model for, names you might recognize: Marc Jacobs, Vivienne Westwood, Madonna, starred in RuPaul's Drag Race, joins us on this very special Pride Month edition of Up Again. Guillaume and Brittany, let's welcome to the show, Milk. You look spectacular.
Thank you so much. Just a little daytime glamour for you.
Do you know that I did actually put extra effort into my makeup for this edition of the show because I knew you were going to come on, and now I feel like I might as well not have bothered because that look is spectacular.
Thank you. It's not a rivalry, honestly. It's not a rivalry. No competition here. You look stunning. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Okay, so I know that you and Guillaume follow one another on the socials because I am a pro stalker and you like all of his posts. So the two of you are clearly acquainted. Please meet Brittany Bowe, speed skating superstar.
Hey, Brittany. How
Hello.
are you?
You are beautiful.
Thank you. As are you, Brittany.
How far did you get into your skating career before drag stole you?
I got as far as I say that I wanted to get. I competed at I competed at U.S. Nationals in 2009 in junior ice dance, and that was sort of like what I wanted to achieve in skating. My dreams were never necessarily the Olympics, but I mean, go off for all you Olympians out there. But for myself, it was just, I love to skate and I just wanted to see how far I could get. And then when I got to a certain point, I found another creative outlet in drag. And so that was around like 2009, 2010.
So Guillaume, have the two of you actually met, or are you just Insta fans?
We're just Insta fans.
Yeah, I just crush over Instagram.
I was hoping to meet you at Worlds last year, but then it got canceled, and so
I know. I was so excited to go to my first Worlds to watch, and then last year happened, and so we have yet to meet. So
exactly.
Okay, well, Milk Up Again is all about overcoming life's challenges on and off the ice. What's been your greatest Up Again moment where you hit rock bottom and what would have floored most people, you just decided, you know what, there's more in me. I will overcome this.
I think my experience was with Drag Race, having experiences on competing on RuPaul's Drag Race. And just dealing with overall online hate and bullying and all of that. And the way I got through that was honestly knowing that I am amazing and lovely and wonderful and add good things to the world. So like, as long as you love yourself, like none of that should necessarily get you down. Yes, it feels like a big sting at one point. But then if you have confidence in yourself, you can sort of get through it all.
Okay, and it's Pride Month. We're celebrating here on the show. That's why I'm in such great company this time around. What does Pride Month and Pride in general mean to you? Why is it important?
Well, Pride is important as a celebration of how far we have come in our fight for liberties, for justice. But it also is a reminder, as we may have talked about, that it started as a protest. Pride originally was a protest for the rights that we have now acquired in small doses, but are being taken away left and right, aren't allowed for some in our community. So Pride really is just that reminder that, yes, we are still here. Yes, we are growing stronger, but we still have a lot of work to do.
That's beautiful. That's really cool. And I mean, you do such amazingly, I mean, so spectacularly imaginative work that it's really cool to see on Instagram in any way, how you are also constantly advancing the cause of inclusion and acceptance and, you know, recognition and protecting people, minorities and people who feel, you know, like they're not recognized. Talk to me about drag, though. What is it that attracted you to that?
I think once I gave up competitive skating and I stopped performing less on the ice, there was this desire to still have an outlet for my creative brain to take part in and to think about in now heightened fantastical ways. Like, on the ice in skating and competition, you can't wear feathers or else you'll get a deduction or something. Like, it's a travesty that we cannot see feathers on the ice. I just have to say that. They move so beautifully. I love them so much. And so, like, as a drag queen, I get to wear feathers and I get to, like, just be as fabulous as I was on the ice, off the ice, and now back on the ice.
Brittany, feathers. That's what we need in your speed skating look.
Oh my gosh, you stunning. Honestly, just flowing.
We'll have to take some feathers into the wind tunnel and see how aerodynamic we can get them.
I mean, birds fly with them, so.
Hello. Okay, so I love the way that you were committed to skating up to a point, and then, you know, you found drag, and then you found a way of bringing these two together. And it really is, I mean, if you think about it, it's a match made in heaven. Hello.
Truly.
It's
Truly.
now it just seems the most obvious thing, but it wasn't always the case, was it?
It wasn't always the case. You know, drag, it's been a slow climb for drag into the mainstream culture. And with that comes restrictions on as to where you can see drag. For the most part, at one point in time, drag was kept to the nightclubs, the late nights, early mornings, that sort of vibe. But now drag can be seen anywhere. You know, you can go to your local library. Well, maybe not right now, but you can go to your local library and see like a drag queen story hour where a drag queen comes in and they read like a children's story to kids that are in the community. And so that's a great way for families to get involved in queer life and hear queer stories, because that's truly how we change minds and build bridges and all of that good stuff. But skating goes along with that. Skating is a family sport, a family dynamic. And so to now be able to bring drag into that, it's taking it to a whole new level, you know? But I mean, we know that skating, in all aspects, in all types of skating, that it is very gender-based. I mean, that's the way sport is, that's the way life is. And now we are moving into a world where we have just been hit in the face with just like, wow, like there isn't just two gender. Like this is all just make-believe. And like we can be whoever we want to be. We can identify as who we want to be. Like it's just a wonderful thing. And to bring that to skating, this idea of, well, who cares what I am? I'm just putting on a show on ice. And also getting to wear white skates, like is like a dream of mine for so long. It's just, and even like people outside of the world of skating do not understand how big of a deal that is. To be, I identify as a cis gay man. So to be a man who wears white skates, it's just, it's lovely to sort of just be in those and just feel like I skate differently. Honestly, I just feel like I skate more freely. I skate more effortlessly. Like, I love it.
It's time to play the Up Again game. 2 truths, 1 lie. Milk has spent some time compiling a few facts about herself, 2 of which are true, 1 that is a lie. Milk, take it away.
All right, here we go. Oh, I was so nervous writing these. All right, here's the first. So there's this one time in Chicago that I fell off stage and busted my chin open while in full drag. I fell off stage while performing in front of Mick Jagger. Wild, right? That's crazy. That's the first one. I take off all of this beautiful makeup. Look how stunning. Look how stunning. With dish soap. It cuts through grease. You know, it's just, you take it from your kitchen sink, put it in your hands, lather it up, swipe it across your face. You're done. Your makeup is off. Third, I love being queer. Period.
Wait, that's 2 lies, 1 truth, or 2 truths, 1 lie?
2 truths, 1 lie.
2 truths, 1 lie. So we have to.
One of those is a lie.
So I fell off stage in front of Mick Jagger. I love being queer. And I take off my makeup with dish soap.
So tell me about the Mick Jagger performance. Who else was there?
Who else was there? It was in Chicago, and there were some fellow drag sisters of mine. We were performing. It was really dark. And I didn't see where I was stepping off stage. And then I just fell off stage and busted my chin. Bled everywhere.
When this happened, did your hair stay in place?
Yes, I believe it did. Pinned in, you know, not going anywhere.
Any questions, Guillaume?
No, I have an idea of what the lie is.
What do you think?
I can't imagine that you're washing your face with dish soap. I couldn't imagine the state of your skin if that were true. I think that's a lie. Am I wrong? I don't know. But also the Chicago thing seems mysterious. I'm gonna go with the soap.
Oh, do I reveal? Brittany?
I am also gonna have to go with you do not wash your face with dish soap.
All right. Okay, you got me. I do not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore. So you
that.
did.
I used to. Now, when they say that stuff,
and changed it.
Yeah, when they say that dish soap cuts through grease on those sticky pans that you got, best believe it cuts through the grease. And you know, this is all sort of grease paint in a way. So you literally one swipe and all of it was gone. But baby, it is not good for your skin. No, 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 no.
You'd be better off putting your face in the dishwasher.
I have heard coconut oil is really good for super, super thick. Is that correct?
I do use coconut oil. Thankfully, I do not. I'm grateful for not having breakouts because coconut oil can be very clogging of pores. But it is much butterier and softer on the skin.
I have to get more tips from you. So give us some more Milk endorsed tips, like the hacks. Give us the drag hacks that all of us need in our lives.
All right. What are some drag hacks? I mean, if you want to get an overdrawn lip, you know, you just take your lip liner and just go outside in shade from the outside in, and then add your lighter color in the middle. Right there.
I have to say, your lip game is spectacular.
And you don't even need, you know, surgery.
Milk, what is your message this Pride Month? What is it you want on the agenda in 2021? What should we be discussing beyond the fact that all makeup is for everybody?
Totally, that is a good first one. The big overall theme here is that we must continue raising our voices and fight for those that are still disenfranchised, even with within our own LGBTQIA+ community, and that being Black trans lives. Black trans lives, the average age of a Black trans person in the United States when they die is 35. And that is just an unreal statistic that we need to address. We can't continue as we are prideful and celebrating what we have achieved. We also have to realize that we have other community members that we have to bring alongside us. It's an equitable team we got. So to be able to uplift voices, to raise awareness, to educate yourselves, to listen, to learn, and, you know, to just be prideful, but also remember, just keep fighting. Like, don't ever stop fighting, because, you know, it doesn't end. But be prideful.
Thank you so much, Milk.
Thank you, everybody.
What is the one piece of Up Again advice you'd like to give to your fans? Let's start with you, Brittany.
That's tough. I mean, we all have a story, whether it's something like an injury or inequality, injustice, you know, the list goes on. We've all been through something, but I can guarantee if we all continue to share our stories, somebody will relate. And we have been through what you have been through. And it's just so important to continue to keep your head up, and most importantly, surround yourself with people that lift you up.
Okay. And you, Guillaume?
I mean, I think remembering, whenever there's a tough time, I always, you know, think of it as a storm, and, you know, storms don't last forever. There's always going to be some sunshine at some point. So, you know, just like being patient and you know, trusting that it will be sunny again. Like, don't have to stay stuck in the storm.
That is a beautiful message. Thank you so much. And it was such an honor having both of you on Up Again. All the best with the adventures that lie ahead. And we can't wait to see where the road leads for both of you.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you both. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, guys. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride!